Hey everyone, welcome to another dividend investing video. Today I'm going to provide a look into our new portfolio we've been building up here on the channel, and I call it the Dividend Growth Income Public Portfolio. And we have it here with Fidelity. This is the progress for the month of October 2022, the third video in our series, and the first monthly update. I'm Nick and this is the Dividend Growth Income channel. Thank you for joining me today. I'm not a financial advisor, just a guy who wants to share my love of dividend growth investing and building financial independence with passive income. It's been about a week since our last video. Sometimes life gets in the way of getting everything we need done, but I'm excited to share how this portfolio has done in the last 6 weeks. One word that comes to mind when I think of the stock market in October 2022 is insanity. October saw the S&P 500 up over 6% after down months in August and September. So I'm building out a Google Sheets document for this portfolio, and eventually I'm going to make this publicly shareable for you guys. My first page here just provides an overview of the fund. And the goal of this fund is to demonstrate just one way to build passive income via dollar cost averaging small amounts of money on a consistent basis. We make purchases every Wednesday with whatever money can be deposited for that week, whether the markets are up or whether they're down. It doesn't really matter. We're going to invest what we invest anyway. Now, after the first 6 weeks of small weekly contributions and investing every Wednesday, we are sitting at $1,366.43, and this is a 5% unrealized gain on the $1,300 we have invested in the fund. And the forward annual income for the portfolio is $38.56, and this means that for the next year, if we did nothing else, no more purchases, we could expect to collect $38 and change in dividends. And actually, if we did nothing, we would end up collecting more than that thanks to the dividend raises all these fine companies would be providing over the next year. Also, I break this amount down by month, day, and hour just to give us a few different ways to see the projected income as it grows. And that $38 on our $1,300 portfolio gives us a yield of 2.82%, and the yield on cost is 2.96%. And even though the portfolio is only a few weeks old, we have collected our first dollar and change in dividend income already, and I'll show you how that breaks down. And here I have goals set. It's nice to have milestones and start with some that are reachable. For instance, our first goal is to get $100 in annual dividend income, and we are just over 38% of the way to that first goal. Then we can see we are 10% away from having $1 a day and 6% of the way from having $50 per month. So of course, as the goals get more lofty, the further away we are, when our ultimate goal being $1,000 per month is 0.32% of the way there. And I want to stress, guys and gals, I do not chase yield. Notice that 2.82% yield on the portfolio, I'm looking for total growth. With that said, I would like to bump this yield up just a little bit on the portfolio before it gets too much larger. And my plan is to add a couple more safer high yield stocks into the mix here in the next month or two. And that's a whole other video that we're going to put this out in the next week or so. The next tab I want to show is the contributions tab I made here. This lets me track how much we've added into the Fidelity account per week. For September, we added $500, and in October, we added $800. For the month of October, I was consistent about getting $200 for each week, and my plan is to stick with this amount for November. The contribution goal for 2022 is $3,000, and we look to be on track to get there. I'm going to build this out more, and I'm going to add contribution goals into the mix. Next, I want to show you the purchases tab. Basically, I've created little tables for each holding in the fund, and they are grouped by sector here. It's just how I've organized it. The first 3 holdings are the ETFs of the portfolio. The goal is for these to make up 25% of the portfolio. These ETFs provide a solid foundation that has us nicely diversified. We've invested $60 into VOO, the S&P 500 Index Fund, and then $120 each into the dividend ETFs SCHD and VYM. And then there are 20 different dividend growth stocks we've been buying into in this account. Thus far, I've got about $50 invested into each one, and I'm making contributions to these equally, and we're going to let the winners run. We have Comcast in the communication sector. We have Home Depot and Best Buy in the consumer discretionary sector. In the consumer staples sector, we have Kroger, Procter & Gamble, and Mondelez. In the energy sector, we have Chevron. In the financial sector, we have BlackRock and Aflac. For the healthcare sector, we are covered with Amgen, Medtronic, and United Healthcare. For the industrial sector, we have Lockheed Martin, Waste Management, and Snap-on. And in the information technology sector, we're buying Automatic Data Processing, Cisco, and Broadcom. In the real estate sector, we have Agri Realty. And last but not least, in the utility sector, we have Next Era Energy. Now we can see how everything looks together. Here we are sorted by weight, and this puts our ETFs at the top with SCHD and VYM both at about 9.4% weight, and our S&P 500 index at 4.4%. Now let's see what's been performing. Our top 3 performers so far are Lockheed Martin, Chevron, and BlackRock. Each of these are up about 12%. That's pretty awesome. On the flip side of that, only 2 of our companies are actually in the negative. Waste Management is down 2.48%, and Next Era Energy is down 0.54%. If you guys happen to see our video last week on the stocks in the utility sector, this is the one sector I think that has some value right now, and Next Era is one of the best of the breed in that sector. It's not a high yield, but they have very solid dividend growth. The third worst performer is our S&P 500 index fund, VOO, and I'm going to be buying more of that this week. Next, let's take a look at the dividend income we've collected so far. In September, we've collected dividends from VYM for 35 cents and SCHD for 29 cents. And then in October, we started collecting dividends from these stocks. We got 7 cents from Agri Realty. They are the only monthly paying dividend stock at the moment, and it's going to be fun to see this number increase every month. Comcast has paid us 17 cents and Cisco paid us 18 cents. Mondelez paid us 13 cents, Medtronic paid us 8 cents, and VOO paid us 8 cents. Most of these small payments were dripped. We are going to drip everything we can in this account for the first year or so as the dividend payments are low. And that is 64 cents for September and 71 cents for October. Next, I'll show you a similar looking calendar I've built that demonstrates the projected income for this portfolio that it should pay out. We have weak payout months for February, March, August, and November, but December should be looking pretty nice. We'll add a few dollars of dividend income from the portfolio that month. But yeah, next month, not much. We'll get our monthly Agri Realty, and we'll also get a small dividend from Procter & Gamble. I don't even think it's going to be that 35 cents. One more tab I've got here is a diversification tab, and I've broken it down by sector and by stock. And I also have graphs for estimated income based on sector and stock. And finally, dividends collected. I'm not really sure that's useful, but I like graphs. And for November update, I'm going to have this cleaned up, and hopefully we'll have this ready to share with you guys. And as mentioned, I will have a video coming up where I'm going to ponder 3 or 4 higher yield dividend stocks that I want to add to the mix just to kick up that yield a bit, but I'm not actually looking to chase yield. I want to stress that. I just don't want to be investing in dead money. I do think there are some compelling options out there with all the volatility in the markets. More to come soon, guys. Thanks so much for joining us. Please leave a comment below telling me what stocks you bought in October. And until next time, guys, thank you and keep investing.